It is commonly said that credit repair companies are not necessary and you don't need credit repair companies because whatever the credit repair company does, you are able to do it by yourself and get the same results. That information is partially true and not fully true. Credit repair companies get a bad rap because of bad actors within the credit repair ecosystem that have continuously rip off people who have given bad information. One of the reasons for this is because the credit repair industry, the bar to get in is very low, but the bar to be good at it is not low. The bar to be good at it takes time, and it takes you having access to the right information. Doesn't mean that it has to take long for you to learn. You just gotta have access to the right information and you'll be able to know what you need to do. In this video, I want to tell you why you need a credit repair company. Welcome back to Credit Nerdery. Welcome back. Credit Nerdery brought to you by Irony Financial, Irony Credit Product, and Cheap DIY Credit Repair and Company. Credit repair has gotten a bad rap from in the 80s. You had a lot of spooky companies that ripped off people, and by 1994 they had to implement the Credit Organization Act. And as a result of the implementation of that act, the act represents a pushback against some of the issues that the credit repair industry faced, where companies were ripping off consumer and abusing consumer and selling them false hope. And until this day, there's a lot of companies that are still selling false hope to individuals that they are able to do certain things that they are not able to do, and also using bad information to try and do credit repair to the best of their knowledge, but the information is not right and the information is incorrect because there is certain information that is passed around within the credit repair industry that are just not good information, and that are information that is bad. And as a result, people get in using those information. You might get one or two accounts deleted with it, and then you believe that you are able to now fix credit. And as a result of that, you go on to employ that information with your clients and you're not getting any result. And then you have a problem on your hand, and then the clients are upset because they were sold a pipe dream of getting their credit fixed overnight. And one of the things that credit repair companies like to do that makes it bad also is to make promises up front, which is against the law, about results that the law tells you that you cannot do. But let me tell you, you need credit repair professionals. I'm talking about people who have real knowledge, like myself and others, who have real knowledge that can really help you, because there are certain things about credit repair. The banks want to tell you this, that you don't need credit repair company. Credit bureaus like to tell you this, right? The credit bureaus like to tell you this too. The banks like to tell you this because the government also have a propaganda machine that tells you this as well, that you don't need credit repair companies and you can do it yourself. There are a lot of things that we can do. You can save your money yourself. You can save your money yourself. Why do we need banks? You can devise a budget yourself. Why do we need credit counseling services? But banks are willing to sell you credit counseling services and stuff because credit counseling services help to get banks back their money through the service that they provide. They don't negotiate to lower the debt or anything like that. They negotiate to lower interest, where the bank get back what they owe and still get back money. So, and because most of these are non-profit banks, help fund some of them and encourage you to use some of them. As a matter of fact, some of the banks have them. As soon as you hit a payment or miss a two, they put you to work with them. So banks love them because they are not really going up against the bank's interest. If you listen, debt consolidation companies also, you have some players in this industry that does not do a good job and rip off consumers. And I'm not saying that there are not abuses that take place, but there's a general blanket negative outlook. And there was actually, within the 80s and the early 90s, there were movements of government and attorney general and media outlets that set out to badmouth credit repair industry, and even go as far as telling media outlet not to run ads for credit repair industry. So it was really bad. Debt consolidation companies go up against what BAT stands for, because they try to negotiate and get the debt lowered and all of that. And then you have some abuses there too. So this is why you have credit repair and debt consolidation get a bad rap, because what we do goes against what their interests are and the credit bureau's interests are. So as a result, that's why. But let me walk you through why you need credit repair company. The credit repair process is governed by laws. You, the regular consumer, don't have the time to learn these laws. And these are not one laws or two laws. In addition to the laws, you have regulation that implement the laws that sometimes is way more sophisticated than the law itself, because it adds other nuances and information that you need to know. You, the regular consumer, don't have the time to understand this. Every single aspect of your transaction is governed by a law. You're gonna get the credit, you have the Truth in Lending Act. You Regulation Z. You don't have the time to learn that. Regulation Z alone is more than 1,000 pages. The average consumer is not even reading 5 or 10 pages, much less read 1,000. The FCRA, and you have the Graham's-Bailey Act, Regulation V and Regulation F that implement these laws. You have the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act that governs debt collectors. You have Equal Credit Opportunity Act, a Regulation B that governs the credit underwriting process and how credit is extended, and after you have credit. You don't have the time as a regular consumer to learn all of these things. You don't. For us who are professionals at this, I study hours upon hours every day, and I am still not where you need to be in terms of covering the nuances of all of the laws. And when you finish with the laws, there are nuances that comes with case laws, where you have the courts giving you interpretation that is not as obvious enough. You think you have the time, a regular consumer have the time to study case laws and find these case laws, study them. Some of the cases and the important ones have legal precedents years ago, and you don't know where to find these and how to go over them. So as a result of that, you, the regular consumer, what I'm saying to you here and what I'm talking about, when you are doing credit repair dispute, it's not just about the FCRA that governs credit reporting. It's also about FDCP, it's also about ECOA, it's also about the Fair Credit Billing Act. You don't have time to go through all of these, and the banks know this. The more ignorant the consumer, why do you think the FTC and the CFTC fine banks all the time? And attorney generals go at banks and credit bureau because of violation of the rights of consumers. So if it was easy for you to know these things 1, 2, 3, why would the government need to monitor these people? You need credit repair company, but when you are selecting companies, you need to find good companies that understand the law and understand how to really do dispute, and is not gonna sell you a pipe dream of telling you that your credit is gonna be fixed overnight. As I have said before, credit repair is a process. I have clients, the first round alone I get the job done. And I have clients that take me over a year to get the job done. And anybody that is doing this for any extended period of time will tell you that sometimes it takes months to get certain results, because sometimes you throw a 1-2 punch combination and these guys are in your face violating you, and you have to add to it. Yeah, I have cases sometimes, right? I have cases sometimes. So I mostly work with the federal law, the consumer law. But state laws have more nuances and sometimes it's more up to par with the times. And I have cases sometimes where I have to go to the state laws and combine the state laws with the federal laws for the particular client that I'm dealing with. If I'm dealing with a client in Jersey, then or New York or Pennsylvania or wherever, then I go and look over the laws there and see what kind of nuances I can pull from those laws to basically stop with the federal laws to do the dispute. And sometimes that's when I get results. So you don't, the regular consumer don't have the time to do all of that. The regular consumer don't know when they're violated. The average consumer don't know their right when a debt collector is dealing with them. When they see something turn up on their credit report that they have never heard from the debt collector before, and it just turn up, they don't know what to do or understand that they are being violated when that happens. So you need credit repair company. A credit repair company, you need a good company. And a good credit repair company will get the job done for you and will be straightforward and honest. Because sometimes, depending on what you need to actually do, you might just need a certain amount of work and not the complete full credit repair work. And once you get the work done, you move on and do what you're going to do and then come back and so on. So the credit repair professional will understand that and understand what you need to do and what you don't need to do in the process and what you need to understand. And apart from that, you're talking about credit, your credit score and all the nuances. You don't, the average consumer don't have time to do all of that. So you don't listen to these people that tell you that you don't need credit repair company and you can do all of this yourself. Yes, you can if you know the law. If you know the law. If you know the law, then you can do it yourself. And if you understand how to read the laws, I see people out there that are even credit repair professionals, and the nuances of the law and how to read the laws, I really read them good. They don't even fully know. They are doing the best of what they know. These things take time. And if you are not trained in reading, one of the things that gave me an advantage when I came in the industry was my background that I have in theology and in Asian literature that gave me and philosophy that gave me an advantage where I could really read the laws without having anyone come taking me under their wings and saying, okay, I am gonna mentor you and teach you. I could take the case laws because from my reading in my background, I learned how to read technical writing and how to really exegete texts, how to interpret texts. Doesn't matter what kind of texts, language work a certain way, and my language background that I have in classics and all of that thing where I read other languages and train in Asian language. So as a result, I know when I'm looking on a text that I can't just take the language at face value and then where should I go to really find the right tools to help me interpret the nuances of the language. If you don't have that, even if I put before you a case law, because I see expert reading case laws, right? And in them reading the case laws and the conclusion that they reach over them and they're expert, they are missing the real argument that is being made in the case law and the reason for what is being said and the nuances that comes with the law. So it's not something that is easy to get and understand. And all of these things have a bearing on credit repair at times. Because if you are violated and you need to go to court, that's when case laws and precedents comes in and understanding what are the legal precedents and what is the historical history behind certain disputes. You gotta understand and know that, and if you don't know, sometimes you are even being misled. You are even being misled from even the entities that govern you. And one of the things, because even with credit reporting, right? Some of the nuances You are being misled by even the governing body, depending on the interest I have on what I cover something like this in my child support book. Because there are certain things within the FCRA itself where child support is concerned that is an internal contradiction. And if you don't understand that, I understand why. And I could only see that because I understand case law and know certain things about the law and certain legal precedents. And some of it doesn't even have to do with credit repair, because sometimes some of the nuances that you pick up within the law, you gotta, like for example, let me give you this and then I finish it. For example, you are violated, right? And I see people make this kind of mistake all the time. You are violated by the credit bureaus. And when you're violated by the credit bureaus, you say you're gonna sue. And then you say, I am going to sue for willful non-compliance or negligent, right? Negligence. Depending on the nature of your case, you can't just say willful non-compliance. The average person who will look on the FCRA will think, as long as I do a dispute with the credit bureau and they have not given me what they want and there's a violation there, then that's willful non-compliance. No. The barrier, or the not barrier, the standard for willful non-compliance is different from the standard of negligence. And the standard for willful non-compliance, done you wrong, knowingly done so, and you have to be able to prove that. But on the surface, when you hear willful non-compliance, and most of us construct letters and in it, oh, you're willfully non-compliant. No, if you go to court with that, or you're doing dispute with that, the credit bureau know that this is not willful non-compliant because they and their team know the standard that exists because they know the rule of the game. And as a result of that, you're not going to, but you would have to know common law and willfulness within standard, within common law that is buried within the FCRA. And if you don't know that, you're not going to know what you are seeing and how to interpret it. If the credit bureau publish something on you and it is false, you might be able to get them, but you can't get them with defamation and stuff like that, because defamation, libel, or slander have certain standards. You would have to go to common law to understand this sort of thing. And you're dealing with the FCRA here. But to understand the nuances of the FCRA, you have to go to common law and other legal precedent and tort laws and the standard that exists there. So to understand the nuances, the average consumer is not going to know this. The average consumer probably have never even heard about tax and rules that govern contract law and the defamation and qualified immunity and all of that sort of stuff. You are not going to know that. And it is these kind of things, knowing sometimes the credit repair company, even though this is legal stuff that you would need to go to a lawyer, but if you know these things and you can articulate yourself, you can challenge the credit bureau and successfully defeat them and even the creditor once you understand that. So you need credit repair companies, but you need good credit repair companies. So that is the message. The reason why the credit bureaus is telling you this and the banks is telling you this in concert. The government is saying it because of some of the abuses that took place by credit repair companies and continue to take place with some of them not do bad business, and the government has their interest in trying to protect them, so they tell you. Credit bureaus is telling you this because credit repair companies do the opposite of what credit bureaus does. Credit repair companies delete information and get rid of negative information. Credit bureau supplies information, and the more they have on you is the more they want to give. Okay? Banks need the information to mitigate risk. So the more bad information they have on you is better for them. Credit repair companies in the business of getting rid of bad information. So you see where the interest is clashed. So They don't want you to use credit repair company that are good and that understand the law because it will work against them and put them at a disadvantage. So that is where the issue and the tension lies. Let us keep repairing credit, let us keep doing good, and let us keep learning to even help ourselves if we're going to do it ourselves. Credit Nerdery, brought to you by Caronic Financial. Peace.